Did you know that for this movie, Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames are the only actors to appear in all 8 films? So this movie marks the final installment in the Mission Impossible franchise, which has gone on for almost 30 years. It is pretty crazy to say that we will no longer see Tom Cruise or any of his team members ever again. The final send-off, it feels like a saying goodbye to old friends, end of an era. I was a year old when the first Mission Impossible movie came out, and I'm now 29 seeing the final movie, and it's a lot of nostalgia, it's a lot of emotions. Franchise has been absolutely incredible to watch, to just immerse myself in and just see how much Tom just really loves his fans, loves giving the fans some of the craziest stunts we've ever seen in our lives. And this movie was a testament to all of his years of hard work, and he gave us a few special stunts in this movie to give us a nice send-off. So I'm going to tell you the things I liked about this movie first, then I'll tell you the thing I didn't like at the end. First thing I liked about this movie is the storyline was pretty intriguing. It was also mixed with some nostalgia, some emotion as well. The story, just following along, everyone is trying to figure out what to do with the entity because it's starting to take over all the major nuclear facilities, of course inciting World War III, which is the greatest fear any country can have. And Ethan is like the key to all of this. He has the key, but he needs to access the Sevastopol to get the code. And of course, he's being used and manipulated and stuff, and there's always, Gabriel and everyone else are all trying to go after Ethan. Like, Ethan is number one target, which he usually is, but this time it's like even worse than normal. Like, I like how in this movie Tom is like given the responsibilities of the chosen one. Like, it's even said in the movie, like, he's the chosen one. So I liked how the weight of the responsibility on Ethan has always been great, but this movie turned it up to 11 and just really brought a good story. Like, it really brought a good adrenaline rushing, just, you're always so nervous and you're cheering on Tom more than you ever have before, because he is now, like, everything has culminated to this, like, everything has led up to this, and then we get to see that, and it's heavy. Like, there's a heaviness to this movie that I really, really like. And of course, they throw in a lot of nostalgia, lots of emotion. Nostalgia as in, like, they go through, the first half of the movie is a lot of just going back through the almost 30 years of Mission Impossible movies, all the crazy stuff that Ethan has done in the name of the IMF. But the nostalgia definitely hit hard, because there are some just really underrated scenes, underrated characters. I'm still salty that Ilsa got killed off in the last one, but we got to see a couple scenes with her. I'm just like seeing all this stuff that Ethan has gone through, all the good things and all the bad things. I mean, it really just plays on your emotions. And of course, some emotional goodbyes and some losses, and just saying goodbye in this way, in the best way possible, just going out in the biggest way possible, putting it all on the line, down to literally the last second. I mean, it was just peak cinema. Second thing I liked about this movie is the stunts and the anxiety from these stunts. So of course it won't be Mission Impossible without some crazy stunts. And these stunts in the movie were just a really great, just final thank you to the fans. Tom really went all out with the biplane stunt. The behind the scenes video is pretty cool to see how they did it. But that scene was wild as heck. Like, absolutely remarkable what Tom can do. But the stunt that got me so anxious was the submarine stunt. Was not the best stunt I've ever seen, but it is definitely the scariest stunt I've ever seen. I would say it rivals the Burj Khalifa stunt and the other underwater stunt scene from Rogue Nation. This scene was so man. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Like, I was like gripping the armchair. Like, this one thing after another just kept happening, and it's underwater, and he doesn't have a lot of time, and he's gotta reserve all of his oxygen, and all these crazy things can happen to his body, and he's fighting against literally everything to get to the source code for the entity, because this is, if he did not accomplish this, the world was lost and he would lose. He needed to get that source code, whatever it took, and we got to see that in this stunt. Absolutely, it's absolutely incredible. It was so nerve-wracking. Like, I was panicking. Like, I was like, what is gonna happen? Like, he better get out of there. And man, just underwater stuff always gets people anxious. That's just because the nature of underwater and darkness, and just the pressure, the water pressure and the oxygen and all the stuff that you need to do right or you will die. It was a pretty long scene, honestly. That was a pretty long scene, but they kept going. Like, it kept getting more and more scary. Like, they kept turning up just a little bit more, adding a little more variables to it. Okay, let's make it a little more harder now. Let's make it harder now and harder now. You just really are praying in that moment that Tom gets out of there, because that scene was wild. That was the wildest scene in the entire movie. It was also my favorite scene in the entire movie. And it was a great wrap-up, like I said. And I like how they ended this movie. It didn't end in the way I thought it would. It kind of leaves a door open with what exactly is Ethan going to do with the entity. They never say, you know, there's nothing to point that he's going to destroy it or keep it or whatever. He just takes it and he disappears. And I like how it leaves us wondering, okay, what did he decide to do? We're not getting another Mission Impossible movie. This is it. This is it. Okay, so whatever, you know, it's up to us to think the best or the worst of Ethan Hunt. What is he going to do with it? And the only thing I didn't like about this movie is I did feel like it was too long. It is the longest movie of the entire franchise. It's 2 hours and 49 minutes. So you better buckle up when you see this movie. The beginning scene was nice. Like, I liked the nostalgia part. I felt like it went on a little too long. And then there are a couple scenes when the team was out on St. Matthew's Island, that kind of went on a little too long too. It's just kind of not important storylines that were added that kind of just sucked the time away when we're trying to, like, okay, we can move on now. Like, we can move past this. Let's get to the good stuff. They're kind of just adding stuff here and there that really didn't need to be as long as it needed to be. But that's it. That's the only negative thing I have to say. Absolutely love this movie. See this movie as soon as you possibly can, because it is just such a good final send-off for anyone who is stuck with this franchise for almost 30 years. So for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember to give me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What is your favorite Mission Impossible movie? See you soon.